Today is Friday, May 21st. What to know about a now-approved ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas and the U.S. response to it. Also, an encouraging sign for the U.S. economy, new unemployment claims dropped to a pandemic low. Plus, what to expect from this year's hurricane season, why the BBC is apologizing to the late Princess Diana, and a sequel is coming to a cult classic from the 90s. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in around 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. As of this morning, things are finally quiet in Gaza. The Israeli government and the Palestinian militant group Hamas agreed to a ceasefire. As you know, this comes after nearly 2 weeks of fighting that's left hundreds of people dead, thousands hurt, and parts of the Gaza Strip destroyed. Well, now things seem to have calmed down, and the world is watching closely to see if this truce holds. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will head to the region soon to meet with both Israeli and Palestinian leaders. Egypt also has 2 groups of security officials monitoring the ceasefire, one for each side. The next hurdle is getting humanitarian aid to the people who need it most. This conflict has overwhelmed Gaza's fragile health system, and medical supplies are running low. It's also left Gaza's clean water, electricity, and fuel in short supply. And it's damaged or destroyed hundreds of buildings, including homes and businesses. As the AP explains, Palestinian fighters operate in residential areas, and some say they purposely place military assets near schools, mosques, and homes. But critics of Israel often accuse the country of using disproportionate force, placing the region's most powerful military up against a much less impactful militant group. Either way, President Biden has promised to send humanitarian aid to Gaza in a way that gets to the people and does not just help Hamas replenish its weapons stockpiles. Already, the U.S. gives Israel nearly $4 billion a year in military aid, or in other words, about a fifth of Israel's defense budget comes from the United States. Biden has promised to continue sending that aid, but he also says both Palestinians and Israelis equally deserve to live safely and securely. Experts say there should be concerns about how durable this latest ceasefire is in the long term, and they do predict violent flare-ups in the future. To be continued. The Hate Crimes Act that overwhelmingly passed in both chambers of Congress is now officially law. President Biden signed it at a White House event alongside lawmakers, advocates, and families of hate crime victims. The new law puts extra emphasis on violence against Asian Americans, since there's been a big increase in those kinds of attacks over the last year. Authorities say a lot of that hate comes from people who blame China for COVID-19. So the new law directs the Justice Department to speed up the review of hate crimes related to the pandemic. It also makes grants available to state and local governments so they can respond to hate crimes and start up prevention programs. The Stop AAPI hate group praised the legislation, but said more is needed to address the root causes of systemic racism and oppression. Still, the Attorney General called the new law an important step. It's the latest encouraging sign for the U.S. economy. Fewer Americans applied for jobless benefits last week. In fact, new unemployment claims have gone down in 5 of the last 6 weeks. And this latest report shows the number is the lowest it's been since the pandemic started. Analysts say it's a sign the economy is getting stronger as COVID-19 cases drop, businesses reopen, and people start spending freely again. Well, the news also comes as 22 states, like Texas, Ohio, and Arizona, say they'll cut off a federal unemployment bonus early. Remember, during the pandemic, people have been able to get an extra $300 a week on top of their regular state unemployment aid. And that benefit was supposed to last until September. But more and more states are cutting it off, saying the extra money is discouraging people from finding work. Plus, most of the same states are also stopping programs that give jobless benefits to self-employed people or gig workers, as well as those who've been unemployed for more than 6 months. Now, this means millions of people are about to see their payments lowered or taken away completely. And this could take a toll even if they do find jobs. A recent analysis by Bank of America found about half of Americans getting unemployment are making more from the government than their old jobs paid them. Still, some people point out overall about half as many people are getting unemployment now than they were last July. They say that means most people are willing to take jobs when they're available. Scientists think we could be in for another active Atlantic hurricane season. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, aka NOAA, is predicting anywhere between 13 and 20 named storms this year, and it says 3 to 5 of those could become major hurricanes. By major hurricane, we're talking about a Category 3 or higher with winds of at least 111 miles an hour. Remember, last year, the Atlantic hurricane season was the most active ever. There were a record 30 named storms and 7 major hurricanes. That was a lot more than even NOAA expected. This year, scientists say it likely won't be quite that bad, but the head of NOAA points out it only takes one to devastate a community. The Atlantic hurricane season officially begins June 1st. More news is coming up, but first, thanks to our sponsor, Rothy's. Rothy's believes style is about more than just fashion. From slip-on sneakers and classic flats to chic handbags and spacious totes, Rothy's makes getting dressed easy. And does it all with 100% recycled materials like thread spun from, get this, plastic water bottles. And here's another amazing aspect of Rothy's shoes. They're fully machine washable. That's right, no need to worry about spills or dirt. Just throw them in the washing machine and they'll come out looking brand new. Rothy's are extremely durable and last wash after wash. In fact, the average pair of Rothy's has walked about 1,000 miles. That's like walking from San Francisco to Denver and staying comfortable with every step. That's why I never have to worry about throwing on my nice Rothy's flats for any occasion, even just a walk to the park. If they get dirty, I have no stress. I know I can make them fresh and clean in no time. We all deserve shoes and bags that can keep up with our busy, active lives, right? So keep it clean with cute, washable shoes and bags from Rothy's. Head to rothys.com/newsworthy to find your new favorites today. That's ROTHYS, rothys.com/newsworthy. The BBC is apologizing for a famous interview one of its reporters did with the late Princess Diana more than 25 years ago. A new investigation found the reporter, Martin Bashir, used deceit to convince Diana to sit down with him. The investigation also found the BBC covered it up. Bashir now admits he created fake bank statements to make it look like people close to Diana were being paid to watch her and leak information about her. Bashir showed the forged documents to Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, and Spencer then introduced Diana to the reporter. The BBC says Bashir's actions were inappropriate. In a statement, the network said it should have done more to investigate what had happened, and it offered a, quote, full and unconditional apology. Bashir also apologized for forging the documents, but says he's still very proud of his reporting. This was the interview where Diana talked about Prince Charles' infidelity and opened up about her struggle with bulimia. Diana died 2 years later. Since the BBC report came out, Princess Diana's sons, Princes William and Harry, pressed for higher media standards. Prince William asked that the interview never be aired again. Prince Harry went a step further, blaming the media for Diana's death. And he's not the only one. For years, many people have blamed the paparazzi following Diana for causing the car crash that killed her. Back in the U.S., the Wild West days of digital currencies may be coming to an end. The federal government says it wants to regulate cryptocurrencies like it does cash, at least in one way. The Treasury Department is proposing a new rule that says transfers of at least $10,000 would have to be reported to the IRS. And that's because the Treasury says it's concerned crypto investors would be able to use digital currencies to avoid paying taxes. And it says even though crypto is still a minor player in the business world, the market will likely continue to grow over the next decade. Still, the new change is not in effect just yet. It's being proposed as part of an $80 billion effort to update IRS auditing abilities, so Congress would still have to sign off on this. It'll sort of be like the programs that air on home shopping channels, but more interactive. Facebook is launching its new Live Shopping Friday series today. Shoppers can tune in and watch live presentations about fashion and beauty products. Viewers can submit questions about the products and get answers in real time. People can also tap on the products shown on the live stream and buy them without leaving Facebook. The live shopping events are happening every Friday from now until mid-July. Other companies have also been experimenting with live online shopping experiences like TikTok, Amazon, and YouTube. The NBA playoffs tip off tomorrow afternoon. The action begins with 4 matchups on Saturday, and as always, each series is best of 7 games. So it could be mid-July before the final 2 teams take the court for the championship series. All of the arenas are allowing at least some fans, but none are back to full capacity yet. And of course, you can watch the first and second rounds of the playoffs on ESPN, TNT, and NBA TV. The Sanderson sisters are back for Hocus Pocus 2. Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy all signed on for the much-anticipated sequel. The original Hocus Pocus film came out in 1993. It's about 3 witches from Salem, Massachusetts, who come back to life 300 years after their deaths. It's since become a cult classic, especially popular around Halloween. As Variety reports, the sequel will follow a similar script, just a little more modern. It'll be available to stream only on Disney Plus sometime next year. Well, that's it for the main news today, but now it's time for Feel Good Friday, when we bring you one extra feel-good or positive news story before the weekend. But first, this episode is brought to you by Ritual. Ritual is not your typical multivitamin. Its clean, vegan-friendly formula is made with key nutrients, including vitamin D3 to help fill gaps in the diet, and informs your body can actually use. And there are no shady extras allowed. That's why I first started taking Ritual vitamins months ago. Yep, even if I was not partnering with them, I would be taking these vitamins. I appreciate that the company is so upfront about exactly what goes in the vitamins and why, and I can take them with or without food and have no issues. Ritual's fresh-tasting, delayed-release capsules are designed to dissolve later in less sensitive areas of the stomach. They're also convenient. They're delivered right to my door with free shipping each month. Of course, you can start, snooze, or cancel your subscription anytime. And if you don't love Ritual within your first month, they'll refund your first order. Plus, right now, Ritual is offering the Newsworthy listeners 10% off during your first 3 months. Just visit ritual.com/newsworthy to start your Ritual today. That's ritual.com/newsworthy. Okay, now back to Feel Good Friday. A couple of Girl Scout troops in Illinois are helping other kids make friends and helping the planet, too, all with one service project. The girls, who are all in elementary school, spent 2 years collecting more than 300 pounds of plastic bottle caps. Then they used the money raised through cookie sales to have those bottle caps turned into park benches. The idea is if a kid is feeling shy or left out, they can sit on the bench as a signal to other kids that they're looking for someone to play with. One of the troop leaders told the Daily Herald the girls have been excited about this project so they can encourage others to make new friends. But it's actually not the only charitable work they've taken on. Their recent outreach projects have also included volunteering at nursing homes, helping at food drives, and putting together care packages for active troops. And for that, they've all earned Take Action badges. So before you go today, I want to give you a quick heads up that my short maternity leave will be starting next week. Yes, my husband and I are having our first child, a baby boy, and my due date is fast approaching. But don't worry, you will be in great hands. Not only will the Newsworthy producers continue doing the stellar work behind the scenes that they're doing every day already, but we'll also have a fantastic fill-in host. Lacey Evans has worked in radio and TV news for nearly 2 decades. She's done everything from anchoring to producing, editing, and reporting on traffic and weather. She's been part of many award-winning newsrooms and has even taken home the individual honor of Best Writing from the Associated Press. And of course, I will still be around checking in with you here on the show and with the team, and I'll be saying hi on Instagram occasionally, so be sure to follow us over there too, @NewsworthyPod. I'll miss you, but I'll be back before you know it. In fact, I'll still be here for tomorrow's special edition Saturday episode, and then Lacey will have your next news roundup on Monday. Until then, have a great day.